morning, my name is Destiny's Penny and I teach Sunday school at the Holy Cross Church in Wollongong. Today, we're going to learn about a very important house. Do you know what house this could be? The important house we will talk about today is the church, the house of God. Let us begin our lesson today with the question. In the house that you each live in, is there only one room that you do everything in? No, this is not correct. We have bedrooms that we sleep in, a kitchen where we cook, and a dining room where we eat our meals. In our Orthodox churches, there are lots of different areas that serve a different purpose. Let's follow Bill as he goes on a journey through an Orthodox church, learning what each part of the church is. Bill was very impatient. He could not wait for the week to end and for Sunday to come. He wanted to go to church earlier than its starting time, as Father Nicholas had asked him to do so. It would also be the first Sunday that Bill would serve as an altar boy in the Holy Sanctuary, helping Father Nicholas. When Sunday finally arrived, he awoke earlier than his parents. He dressed quickly and ran to the church, and there at the door was Father Nicholas waiting for him to arrive. "Welcome, Bill. Today you will serve the church as an altar boy." "Your blessing, Father," Bill responded with respect to Father Nicholas and kissed his hand. "I have come earlier, just as you asked me to do." "Come, Bill," said Father Nicholas. "Let me show you and explain to you the different parts of our church." They began walking and entered the church. This part of the church is the eastern porch, the entry and exit point of the church. Bill and Father Nicholas then walked through the eastern porch and entered the church. Bill then picked up a candle and lit it, as he did every Sunday. This part of the church where we light our candles is called the narthex. The candles that we light symbolizes that our souls are like candles, that grow with the light that Christ gives each and every Christian. Also in the narthex, you can venerate the icon of the patron saint of the church and the saint celebrated on that day. Then Father Nicholas and Bill walked together and entered the main part of the church. This part of the church is called the nave, which is the largest part of our church. This is where the faithful stand during the Holy Liturgy. Then they walked to the front. This part is known as the cella. On the right, in the front, we find the throne of the Archbishop, also called the HIERATIC throne. Only the Archbishop or Bishop can sit there. On the left is the pulpit, which is where the deacon reads the Holy Gospel from. Sometimes sermons may also be preached from here. On the right and left side, there's 3 rows of seats with books. This is where the chanters stand. Here we find the books that contain all the hymns and chants for the liturgy and other services that we hear in the church. Also on either side of the cella there are large candles, which may be lit up by fire or electronically. You may have noticed that the cella is 1 step higher than the nave. Here in the early days it was set aside for those preparing to become Christian. Today, however, it is used for a number of services, such as baptisms, wedding services, funeral services, and memorial services. It is also from here that the priest gives the faithful Holy Communion. In front of the cella, we can also see various large icons placed all together. This is called the ICONOSTASI. This separates the main part of the church from the Holy Sanctuary. It is 3 steps higher than the cella. The Holy Sanctuary is only for the priest, the altar boys, and those that help the priest during the services of the church. The middle door of the ICONOSTASI is called the royal door. On the right side of the royal door, as we look at it, in every Orthodox church is the icon of Christ, and next to Christ is the icon of St. John the Baptist. On the left of the royal door, we see the icon of Panagia, and next to Panagia is the icon of the saint to whom the church is dedicated. The 2 smaller doors on the ICONOSTASI are called, on the left, the northern door, and to the right, the southern door. On these doors, we normally see two archangels depicted, Archangel Gabriel and Archangel Michael. From the royal door, only the priest can enter and exit during the services of the church. The altar boys and other helpers use the northern or southern door. Behind the ICONOSTASIs is the holy sanctuary. There is a large table in the centre, known as the Holy Altar. It symbolises the holy grave of Christ and is the holiest place in the church. Upon this holy altar, the great mystery of the Holy Eucharist is performed. As Bill looked around the church, he noticed all the icons. Why are there so many icons and what do they symbolise? Bill asked Father Nicholas. A very good question, Bill, Father Nicholas replied. In all Orthodox churches, we see icons of many different saints. These can be on the walls of the church, the ceiling, and on icon stands. Apart from the ones we see on the iconostasi, the icons of the saints remind us of people just like us, who attained sainthood because they loved Christ and were martyrs of our faith. The saints also give us strength to struggle for the love of Christ. On the dome of many churches, we see the icon of Christ. This icon is known as the Pantocrator, or Christ, the ruler of the universe. Above the altar, we see an icon of Panagia, called the PLATITERA, meaning wider than the heavens. It is an icon of Panagia with Christ as an infant in her lap, and her hands are spread out. See, children, how many different parts there are in an Orthodox church. More important, however, it is to remember that the church is the house of God. Just as you have lots of rooms in your house, in the same way, the church has different areas to serve the different needs of the faithful, such as prayer, spiritual life, the many services, and mysteries of our church. It was now time for Bill to put on his altar garments as the liturgy was about to begin. Now that we know the different parts of our church, we should pay particular attention when we are in church to see what happens in all these areas. When we go to a different Orthodox church, we should look out for the icon that is on the left of the Panagia on the iconostasi. This is the patron saint that the church is dedicated to. Sometimes the church is named after a special event. For example, the Holy Cross Church where I go is not named after a saint, but after the Holy Cross of Christ. The icon to the left of the Panagia on our iconostasi displays the icon of the exaltation of the Holy Cross. Always remember, children, that the church is a very special place because it is the house of God. Next time you are watching a live stream of the Divine Liturgy, or even when we can go back to church in person, make sure you pay particular attention to what is happening. That concludes today's lesson. I hope you all enjoyed it. Take care, stay safe, and have a great week.